We're talking Ball State. Don Shondell and Ray McCallum talking Ball State. Nate Davis and Bonzi Wells. Schumann, Belltower, and Worthen. Fans all over from Muncie to Berlin. Getting Concannons, Carters, and Greeks. All right, Ball State fans. We here today with a social media legend from Ball State. Look at that. He's got the sticker right there. A Ball State social media legend. If you've been on Twitter ever and seen anything about Ball State, you've seen this man. Please, ladies and gentlemen, give a warm welcome. Give your chirps. Throw your chirps down in the comments for our friend Sidelines. Rob, Sidelines Ball State, how are we doing today?
Wonderful. How are you guys?
Man, we're great. We're happy to have you here. We always see your stuff. You're always on top of everything related to Ball State. And so we've been wanting to have you on for a while now. Before we get into any, I have some questions here. We have a bunch of interesting stuff I want to get to. I want to tell everyone out there in Cardinal land, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Like this video, comment on the video. Rob's going to show you a bunch of cool stuff today. Be sure to throw some comments down there. All that interaction we get is going to help this video get out to more and more people and let everyone know more about Ball State of the Union. So without further ado, Rob, you're like the number one Ball State fan on Twitter. How exactly did you become a Ball State Cardinal fan?
The story goes, I was a student. Then we stayed in Muncie. And for those of you unfamiliar with Muncie, there's just not a lot here. And I was a big fan during school. And then after, I just became a season ticket holder sometime around the year 2000. I don't remember right, so I'm going on 25 years. Not only football, but football, basketball. I go to a lot of girls' basketball, volleyball. I'm pretty much everything.
Oh, yeah. So you're all over everything with Ball State. I know Colin and I, specialize more talking about football. But, yeah, you're always up there, always with your finger on the pulse. It seems like you're always talking to everyone inside the walls of either Schumann Stadium or Worthen Arena or anywhere at Ball State. So,
yeah, the Ball State community, especially in Muncie, it's pretty small and tight knit. So once you get into that circle, and that you're pretty much in there. So after 25 years, kind of know everyone who is anyone regarding Ball State.
Mm-hmm. So 25 years of fandom now, you'd say, give or take.
Yeah.
The Twitter page.
Okay.
How did that start? And kind of how did you get involved with Sidelines? Could you see Sidelines for all the other colleges, for pro sports teams? You see them from everywhere. Kind of how did the Twitter page start, and how did you get involved with Sidelines specifically?
Okay, so that's pretty interesting. I did basically the same thing under my own personal Twitter account.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it was recruiting based. I worked with Thorpe a lot. We worked together. We still do. And as I was doing it, someone reached out and they said, we were looking, Sidelines reached
Mm-hmm.
out and said we were looking over Twitter. We have no one to run the Ball State site. Would you consider doing that? And at the time it had 100 followers, which were 75 of them were dead accounts or bots or
Mm-hmm.
Swedish model, you know what I mean? Crap. So I said, yeah, if there's anyone going to do it, I might as well do it and try to make it the best thing you can. And I'm still not completely sure what Sidelines is. But every 3 or 4 or 5 months, they'll send an email saying, hey, you're the number one G5 account that we have. So they're happy with whatever I do, even whoever they are.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what the Sidelines is, but I think it gave some relevancy to, everything that I had already been doing.
Right. Well, and it's just nice to see, like, obviously what Ball State does and puts out is great. Obviously, they have amazing, stuff with Sports Link, and all the stuff that they put out is good. But it is also nice to have, someone not directly affiliated with the school at times putting stuff out. And so it's always great to see stuff going on that you put out there. And so it's got, like, what do you have, like over 6,000 something followers now on Twitter?
Yeah, by the time football rolls completely around, it should be at 7,000. So that's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah.
For for any G5, and I don't want to say especially Ball State.
Oh yeah.
Especially Ball State.
I'll say especially Ball State.
So, I mean, it's, as long as people are interested, I'll keep doing it.
Now, my favorite thing that I see, and because you see some of the stuff around my office as well, I love when I get updates from Chirpville and what's going on there. Now, before you take us around Chirpville, when did you really notice your collection of stuff starting to take off? And at what point was your wife like, all right, you can just have a whole living room to put this in?
All right. So my home office was the origin of Chirpville. And it got to the point that it was, I mean, I have more stuff that fits in Chirpville. I can't fit it all.
Mm-hmm.
So I just have to either rotate or stuff goes out and it gets boxed up. But our formal dining room, we were sitting in there one Thanksgiving and we were the only ones there. We're getting older, relatives have died, so it's just four of us sitting at this huge dining room table. And it was kind of depressing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, we should turn this into, and my wife and my kids they're as diehard Ball State as I am.
Oh, okay.
My son now, he's going off on a different tangent and kind of likes Ohio State as he gets into high school, you know what I mean? And that kind
right.
of. But, he's still at heart Ball State. So my wife goes, just take this room and do whatever you want to it. And I was like, I love you more and more every day.
I was going to say, that had been music to your ears. You heard the fight song playing right when she said that.
So we, out came the paint. We painted the room black. We added all kinds of lighting, couple TVs, sound system, and I started moving stuff in. And then I guess it became an obsession just to collect everything that just everything.
Yeah.
And it's became that. It's the start of a museum at this point.
I love it. Say, I live in Florida right now, so I only have limited space. The houses down here are a lot smaller unless you're like a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
But if I ever move back to Indiana, I will have a basement. It won't probably be 100% Ball State like yours is, but it'll be the next best Ball State living space that there is.
Yeah. And other updates, I recently installed a fog machine and strobe lights. And we're getting ready for this football season.
There we go. I love that. Are you guys going to be doing entrances like just coming from the kitchen into there?
All right, dude. No. Here's the better part. You ever seen The Shining?
Yeah.
In that super long ass hallway?
Yeah.
Well, I have one of those that goes from Chirpville, all the way down, and it's got 3 rooms off it, so it's a good 50-foot shoot. So yeah, we can have entrances with fog machines and different things like that. So it'll be cool.
I love that. We got it. Whenever we need Charlie Cardinal to come down and do that at your house.
Wouldn't that be something? Sportslink was out here a couple times doing some stuff, and they enjoyed it. So maybe we can get Charlie down here.
That would be sweet. Now, before we go on the tour, Colin, do you have anything for Rob before he goes on the road here and starts showing everything off?
No real questions, but for those that don't know, I feel like Andy Thorpe is the Adam Schefter of Ball State, but Rob on sidelines is more like the Ian Rappaport. Like he's got
Okay.
the insider information. Anytime sidelines messages me late at night during the season or something, it's like, oh, I know about to get something juicy here. So
Something's good
thanks,
coming.
Rob, for coming on. We know it's not normally your
I'll
comfort
do
zone,
I'll
so
do
we
a couple
appreciate
of
it.
I'll do a couple of these a year, and I love your guys' passion. I love what you're trying to do. So I definitely wanted to do yours. And then, so I might do one more. So, but that'll be about it. These things, I could live with them or without them, but I definitely want to help. And John, I know you're big into basketball, so
Hmm.
I will come on with you during basketball season whenever you need it. And
Yes. Thank you.
yeah, and I think maybe if you guys are down, we should do one of these while the season's going, so we can kind of see how, talk about the current football season.
Yep. I'm in. We'll get you in there. Yeah, whatever you're willing to do, we'll have you on. You got open invite to come on whenever.
Oh, whenever you guys need me, we can talk. I've got a million stories. So
Perfect. Well,
some
hey,
some are good, some are bad. It's whatever you guys want to do.
all right, perfect.
You
Well,
have
hey,
had me once now you got me whenever. So
beautiful. Well, hey, let's get this Chirpville tour on the road. I want to see what we got. We've always seen kind of some still pictures and stuff, but I'm ready for the up close and personal museum tour here.
all right. Well, I will. Normally, I have it's got mood lighting, so normally I have it set to red. But if I turn it on red, you guys can't see anything
I
really.
got you.
I've got to keep it here, and we're gonna have to walk, and you're gonna kind of have to guide me.
Okay.
But I'll try to get her to go red for just a second, so you.
Okay.
Rob, there was some football sitting right behind you where you were at. What were
Oh
those?
yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you those. Alexa, turn Charlie on red.
Oh, there we go.
So we can do that, but you guys really won't be able to see anything.
I
So
gotcha.
Alexa, turn Charlie on white.
Okay.
All right. So can you guys see this?
Yeah, so we got like a little glass door on this cabinet with a bunch of
Yeah. All in here are just little Ball State items. There's golf balls, there's baseballs signed by whoever.
mhm.
Ancient pennants. I mean, just all kinds of little hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hey Rob, I know what that one thing is there. Can you explain to people there's that little card on the second shelf with the B on it. Can you explain to people what that is?
Yeah. Can you see it?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, that is, I believe it's 1920 something, and it was given out to any athlete, and that was like their get into free every Ball State event.
Yeah.
And this guy's name was Harold Rinsofer.
Harold Rinsford. I remember seeing that when it came up on eBay. And yeah, I remember it being like over 100 years old, basically, which I thought was pretty sweet.
Yeah. And here is, you saw this, John. Here's the 100-year-old pencil.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the 100-year-old pencil. That's right.
And right there, can you see the gray thing?
Yes.
That is like a lead press plate.
Oh, okay.
So what would happen is they would make like magnets out of those. Your stuff would go in, and it's solid brass, and I bet you it weighs 10 or 15 pounds. I mean, it's solid.
Yeah.
This oddball is a Rick Majerus signed baseball.
So, Colin, if you don't know, Rick Majerus was Ball State's men's basketball coach. He ended up going on to, was he the coach at Utah. Where was he the coach at after us?
Yeah, Utah. He went to Utah, and
So
then,
he was a Utah, St. Louis. He was a handful of different places. Became a big time coach. But yeah, so Rob has a baseball signed by him, by the basketball coach.
and then there's some more stuff, some old matchbooks, and just little handheld goodies back
Yeah,
there. Those are probably, see those stickers and the pennant.
yeah.
Those are probably 80 years old. I mean, there's a lot of just probably one of a kind.
Mm-hmm.
That's a weird take on Charlie.
Yeah, he's like lounging. He's like on
That's
the
lounge
Shay's
chair,
Lounge.
Charlie. And there's another little take. I don't know how long we used that pissed off Charlie for, but he's kind of cool.
Yeah, Rob, talking about logos, today is the official, I believe the official, according to Coach Yurmovich, the official funeral of Dancing Charlie. Any thoughts on Dancing Charlie going away?
Man, breaks my heart. I'm a big Dancing Charlie fan.
Yeah. Yeah, so is Colin. I'm more split on the logos. I can take or leave either of them, but Colin's very staunchly in the team Dancing Charlie camp.
But I mean, yeah, it is what it is.
Mhm.
Well, we just got to deal with it.
Yep.
All right, moving on. This is what I call my flock of Charlies.
Okay.
Can you
So
see all those?
Yeah, so a bunch of different iterations of
Just
stuffed animals, bobbleheads, things like that.
Charlie Cardinals, and there's a 2020 MAC championship thing. Behind it, we have posters, and every poster you see on the wall is autographed by someone or multiple someones.
Okay.
So there's Carson.
Yep.
And Justin Hall. This was actually from this was from the first fan jam where these guys were freshmen and hadn't played yet.
Okay.
So you got
Caleb Huntley,
Justin Hall. There's Bryce Cosby, Riley Miller, if you remember him.
Mm-hmm.
There's Drew.
Yep.
If you look up high, you'll see hats.
Oh yeah.
These are all different. I mean, these are mostly display pieces. There's a Vegas Bowl hat. I've got hats for every bowl game that we've been to.
I have a hat question for you because you have my 1-of-1 white whale Ball State item. Do you have the Crystal Bowl hat pulled out already, or is it somewhere nearby?
Yeah, we got it ready. We got it ready for the story.
Okay, perfect. All right, thank you. We'll get everyone listening. We'll get to the Crystal Bowl if you're not familiar with it.
All in all, personal wear and these kind of hats. I think I've got over 150.
Okay.
Ball State hats, and obviously I can't take them all out. That little creepy thing is just fun.
I was gonna say, yeah, who is that? Just a display.
That's Charlene.
Okay, Charlene.
Whose cleats were hanging up, Rob?
Okay, that's actually funny. That is, my son brought those home. That's a friend of his gave them to him, and the kid's going to Purdue this year.
Okay.
So if he ever becomes famous, that's the only Ball State thing that's not thing in here that's not Ball State. But
okay,
my son wanted to do that. This is really cool. MAC all-time leader Bonzi Wells, autographed by Bonzi. They gave this away soon after Bonzi set the scoring record at Worthing.
That's pretty sweet.
Down behind Charlene, I don't know if you can see it. That's the Sweet 16 team autographed.
Oh, nice. Like the poster for the team poster?
Team poster.
That's pretty sweet.
Right here this came from Arizona. Coach Lynch was nice enough to give that to me.
Very nice. Arizona, for those who can't see it or just listening, we got the Arizona Bowl, like kind of banner for the game from when we played San Jose State. Obviously the first bowl win in Ball State football history. So
up here's one of my favorite. I love this old clock.
Oh, that's cool.
down here, there can't be any more of those.
I remember seeing that as well when that popped up.
I
I didn't know what I would do with it. So
homemade Ball State. I don't even know that's called, but
like crocheted chair.
shade chair. This is a coat rack. You got a Letterman's jacket.
Yep.
Spell out cheerleader jacket. Underneath somewhere, there's a Ball State band jacket. You got more bowl hats. That's from the California Raisin Bowl.
Raisin Bowl. And now, Rob, so as you're going through all this stuff, obviously some of the stuff you can see, like the posters and stuff, you're going to Fan Jam, you're getting them at games. Some of the stuff I know you buy on eBay. Are you just like sourcing stuff around Muncie since you lived there at like thrift stores and stuff? Or is that like, are those kind of the three ways you get everything?
I go around once a week, hit up some thrift stores, find stuff. A lot of stuff is given to me. I mean, people know, so they get done with it and they, just give it to me. They know I will cherish it and take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
These are really cool. I really like these. These are different homecoming pins from, I think I got 61, 59, 60, 65, 51.
All kinds of super old ones.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking to, I don't know how long the homecoming pins like that were a thing.
Right.
But I'm going to try to get, as many of them as can.
Yeah, it's probably not documented very well.
No.
The time frame of those.
And then, just different autograph pictures, whatnot, International Bowl program. That ball is signed by the women's team that beat Tennessee in the MAC tournament.
Okay.
That mirror, I doubt you'll ever see another one of those. That is really cool. It's got Scarface vibes.
That's what I was thinking.
You got your golf bag.
Yep.
This stuff is all kind of really cool. Lonnie Jones, which was one of my favorite players back then. This is what I call my autograph helmet. If I know I'm going someplace, I'll take this out and get it,
Okay. So that's kind of like a rolling list. Like I see Kyle Kelly on there. Like what other names might we notice on there?
Darius Hill's on there. Eddie Faulkner used to be a coach here. Limbo's on here.
Mm-hmm.
Who else we got? Brandon Crawford. I don't know if you know the story about Brandon Crawford.
Yeah, he was in the military, correct?
Yeah, he didn't start playing for Ball State till he was like over 30.
Yeah.
And he played on the 2008 team. There's the Limbo, so this one is the Sweet 16 team again.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
There's Chandler for all you guys that remember that. This one's the Maui team.
Yep.
Signed ball. This is just a helmet.
Oh, that's sweet. I want one of those. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that was just given to me by someone. This is, I'm not sure, 90-91 press pick with Chandler and some Ray McCallum stuff.
Yeah, he's in the Ball State of the Union intro song, Ray McCallum. He was my uncle. I have a bunch of family who went to Ball State, and one of my uncles was there when Ray McCallum was on the team. And his famous story was he played like pickup basketball with them all one night, and Ray McCallum told him, he's like, I can't do anything. I can't get hurt. And he's like, well, just stand over there and shoot threes. And so that's what they did. Every time they went down, they just threw it right to him, and he would just shoot the whole time. That's all he did.
Interesting about Ray was when he played with us, it was before the 3-point line.
Yeah.
So imagine how many more points he would have. You can't be an Indiana guy without an autographed Hoosiers Bobby Plump VHS tape.
There you go.
Over here, if you'll notice, the light fixtures are all custom made.
I love it.
Then you got more hats. Bowl programs. I have them for every bowl.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little bit of Brady Hoke and former president Joanne Gora there.
Yep. She was the president when I was there, or when I first started there. She wasn't by the end of it, but
Yeah. Roll over here. You just got a standard basketball jersey. No real story behind that. Another little display mannequin. Some more autographed hats. This is my Ball State wearable blanket.
oh, there we go, like a Snuggie.
But the Snuggie for the Wednesday night MAC games.
There we go. Has a Snuggie ever made it to Schumann Stadium?
Not yet, but it will this year.
All right, perfect.
Over here you got the J Hall.
Oh, very nice.
With the J Hall gave me his gloves. He gave those to my son. I got to know Justin and his parents and everybody really well. So he is one of my favorite Ball State players of all time. Keep switching around. Another random jersey. A lineman jersey signed by Pete Limbo. I don't know.
Naturally.
Yeah. You guys ask about these. These are all, I have all the bowl game balls from the different bowl games that we've been to. A lot of different mini helmets. Got some Ball State flasks if we need to drink. What is this one? You got there, and then you got there.
The Beef O'Brady's Bowl.
Yep. Up here, you have more of the bowl game balls. That's a Nate Davis back there, I think. Up there is, I think that's a Fan Jam ball.
Okay.
Another one that, my son walked around one year getting that signed by everybody. And then you have the monstrosity.
Yes. Tell everybody about this. I laughed out loud when I saw this picture. You posted it recently.
Okay, I'm 6 foot tall. This ball's got 3 inches on me. So imagine a 6'3", 400-pound football going into your house. It wasn't easy. There are 3 of these. This is the prototype. And it was sold at CBC auction a long time ago, and I got outbid on it. And one day I get a call, and they said, "Hey, Rob, you might want to look at Facebook Marketplace." So I was like, and I had been tagged like 500 times. And so I went and talked to the guy, and we talked about going back and forth on the bidding war on the CBC auction the year it went up for sale. And I don't get beat out often, but it was pretty substantial.
Yeah.
He goes, I tell you what, he goes, since we are, we just talked, hit it off. He goes, I'll give it to you for $50.
Oh, nice.
So, I got it for a much better deal, but I had to do plastic surgery to it to get it in the house. So the front of it looks pretty good. And then back there, you got COVID cutout.
Oh, yeah.
Rob. So that was at the stadium during the COVID time. And like I said, there's a ton more, but it's, room is becoming an issue.
Rob, you've got some of the old turf, right?
Yeah. I haven't done anything with it yet.
Yeah.
Oh, there's see, that stuff is all sitting on a piece of the old It's either Worthen or Ball Gym.
Oh yeah.
I can't, I don't know which one it came from.
I was going to ask you about the CVC auctions because my first question was, do you know why they haven't happened in the last couple of years?
I do not. There's been some leadership and different changes in CVC. So I hope it's something that they do bring back.
Yeah, because so you're talking about that going up for auction, and so I played on the men's volleyball team. I have two older brothers. One of them played for the men's basketball team. So a couple of years ago during that auction, they had a piece of Worthen Arena floor I tried to get. It went more than what I was trying to pay for. I have a jersey right here. It's a one off camera you can't see, but it's a Caleb Huntley jersey from I think the 150th season, so like 2018.
Okay.
So yeah, the CVC auction, bring it back. I want the CVC auction back.
Yeah, and I hear you guys talk about, a lot of times you guys talk about like an extra merchandise. I think Colin does the merchandise sale, though you see a lot of schools.
Mm-hmm.
Ball State actually did do that one year about 10 years ago, but it was never done again. So
yes, like the surplus sale from like the equipment staff. Yeah, so that's this jersey right there. When they switched equipment managers, they did like an online sale where you could put in you could put in a request for a jersey and a color or whatever. So that's where I got that red number 15 jersey back there. But yeah, like you said, that's the only time they've ever done something like that. But
they actually 1 year after Fan Jam or something, they had racks out and you could go in and buy, you know what I mean, jersey. Mm-hmm. I think they're $25 or $30. So I bought a few that year, but
yeah. So yeah. So if anyone's listening, we want the surplus sale. I want the equipment sale. All right. So we've got the in-depth tour of Chirpville now, so we see how the sausage is made. Now you've pulled out some items, Rob.
Yeah.
I want to see some of these items you pulled out because I've also pulled out a few things myself. I don't have quite nearly the collection as you do. I think I maybe pulled out like 6 things. So I want to see what you have, and I'll pop in some of mine
right,
as I see fit.
We can do that. The first thing I pulled out, I mean, these are just interesting. I like them. My collection of Ball State belt buckles.
Oh, there we go.
Now, I'm never going to wear a belt buckle, but something about these, I just kind of...
You never know. We might play like Texas State or somebody in a bowl game. You have to bust one out.
We need to dress ourselves in belt buckles. We can all borrow one, and
that one's sweet.
And go from there. So I pulled those out. Of course, these days you can't do much of anything without the championship belt. So we got one of those.
So funny you mentioned that. Aside from that hat I was referencing earlier, another thing I always really wanted was, remember when we had the turnover belt a couple of years back?
Yeah.
I wanted more than anything to get that turnover belt. I think they had 2. I think there was a red one year and a black one another year.
Yeah.
I was hoping that was going to pop up.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe someday it will. I mean, things are weird like that. Sometimes they're just there.
Yeah.
Another thing I grabbed down that's just cool. It's your 2008 team autographed mini helmet.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Sorry, it's dusty. But yeah, I mean, 2008 was obviously a banner year for Ball State.
Hey, Rob, let me throw one in here for you.
Yeah.
I got something here. So I went to school 2011, 2015.
Yep.
And so a friend of mine was on the football team and obviously ended up being an all-time great for Ball State, and that's Juwan Edwards.
Absolutely.
So I found here, it's not technically a Ball State item, so hopefully it counts. But I have here his San Diego Chargers nameplate.
That's awesome.
The Juwan Edwards San Diego Chargers nameplate. I believe that has to be a 101. If it's not, there can't be many of them.
There can't be many. No.
I wouldn't think.
That's got to be a pretty rare one.
Yeah.
Juwan maybe a year or two ago at a tailgate.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he is always back there. It seems like.
And he's doing well.
Yeah.
I saw Kyle Kelly on the other day.
Yep.
On your podcast, and you had Radican, Yurimovich, and Kelly back to back, so I kind of feel like the chump here.
And Willie Snead.
And Willie, yeah, I forgot Willie. Willie is one of my also favorites, but here's the signature Kyle Kelly swag, that I got to give Kyle a shout out here.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
that's nice.
This is really cool. This was given to me by David Eha, and he is the radio voice of the Cardinals.
Okay.
And if you open it up, you'll see these are all game notes.
That's pretty sweet.
For the MAC quarterfinal game in 2023. But to think about how much work and effort he goes into to write one of these for every game is kind of amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
That much stuff goes into preparation.
Here, Rob, I'll throw two quick ones at you.
All right, go for it.
All right. So, are you into trading cards at all?
I am.
All right. So I'm not super into them, but I've gotten into Ball State ones, and I think
Ball State ones.
What's that?
I like Ball State ones. Not
Ball
much
State ones.
So
I found recently one of them, one of the rarest ones that I think I have. I have a handful of 101s on the shelves over there, and I pulled one down. It's probably the best one I have. We got the Drew Plitt Black Prism Draft 1/1 card. This popped up a little while ago. I'm looking for the Jawan Edwards of this one. If for some reason you have it, you let me know. We'll make a deal.
If I have it, I'll give it to you. Speaking of which, send me your address again. I've got some team basketball cards.
Oh, sweet.
From way back when. I've got 100 of them, but there's a lot of doubles and triples also.
Okay. And while I'm talking about cards, I think I have the rarest Ball State card ever right here.
All right.
This is the John Clausen rookie ID card.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
I would give one of my Ball States if I can find my Ball State ID.
It took me – I recently redid my office, so everything's been cleaned up recently.
Yeah.
And so I figured I knew where everything was. I could not find that for the life of me before this started. And so I was about to be so mad, but I did eventually find it, thankfully.
I figure mine is somewhere, a fallen soldier somewhere on the Ball State campus, probably, 25 years of topsoil on top of it by now. So
it's in the chug in the stall. So call for a good time.
It's somewhere in the trough at the chug. Yeah, exactly.
Real quick, John and Rob. This was given to me by none other than John.
Oh, yeah.
Now I've got it framed. Drew
Hey, I love it. Yeah. Perfect. Next one we got, and this one is more of the story behind it. 2001, we were made an epic comeback against Toledo in football, and you've all heard the goalposts going down the road and going into the stories. All right, so there's the framed Daily News picture, and the skinny buff dude right there. I'll give you one guess who that guy is.
I'm going to say that's you.
Absolutely.
Rob.
So, as I said, the fandom started a long time ago.
You know what's funny? It would be impossible for that to be a better segue into what I'm about to pull out here for my next item.
All right.
I actually have a Daily News article as well. This was when another young skinny dude was the cover athlete on the Daily News.
Hey there.
This is when I was on the men's volleyball team, and this was about the highlight of my career is when I was on the cover of the Daily News.
Hey, you were there. Hey, here's that comment. We can both say, hey, were you ever on the cover of the Daily News? No,
That's
but
right.
I were, damn it. So, and then I got one more item to show you.
Okay, let's see it.
Okay. This is probably my favorite thing that I have. And there can't be many of them.
You'll have to explain this for everybody. I want this more than anything. I want one of these
What does
so
it
bad.
say?
If you can't read it, it says Ball State Shamrock Crystal Bowl, Killarney, Ireland, 1990. So, everybody probably doesn't know, but at one point, we were scheduled to go play I don't know if it was preseason or game one or where it fit into the season, but we were going to go to Ireland to play a football game. We had a press conference. We had everything set up, lined up, ready to go. Fans, tickets had been sold to alumni and people in the know. And then all of a sudden it didn't happen. So this is the hat of the game that never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, whoever was in charge of promoting the game in Ireland didn't do a good enough job, or there wasn't enough interest or whatnot. But sadly, the Shamrock Crystal Bowl never happened. But
That's
yet
bad.
we have a hat for the game.
That's right.
So there can't
be many of them.
Is there another one?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I look basically. I do probably similar to you. I search on eBay, if not every day, pretty much every day for Ball State stuff. And one of these days, I'm hoping one will just pop up. That's I hope.
I'll let you know, and I will keep my hands away from it and let you go.
I hope it pops up and someone doesn't realize what it is. That's what I hope it is.
Well, actually, I got that and another corduroy hat. And it's probably been 10 years ago before, like, this boom of vintage,
Yeah.
So the only person in the world that might have wanted it was me.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but now you look in those corduroy hats, people are selling them for $200, and it isn't. Don't go that deep.
No, that's crazy. But okay, so is that those are all the items you pulled down? Do you have anything left?
I got an idea if you want to have some fun.
Okay, what do you got?
Well, John, you mentioned it. I buy a lot of stuff. So I got 3 packages.
Oh, good.
You guys want to open one kind of live stream and see what we get out of it?
Let's do it. Let's open one of them.
All right. You want to open the big one? You want to open the flat one? Or I got one more down here.
Do you know what they are?
I don't remember.
Okay. Just open that one.
This one?
Yeah.
All right.
This is the first time, I believe. Have you ever live opened anything?
No.
First time. Okay.
That kid, whoever that Asian kid is that got rich and famous doing it. So maybe.
Yeah. So here we go. We might be kicking off an early retirement for you here if this blows up.
If I don't cut,
Yeah. We are watching, so we're on standby in case we need to call a medic.
Yeah.
Ball State unboxing.
Oh. Lord knows what it is. It's probably my wife's watch.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's gonna end up being like a Northern Illinois shirt or something.
You're right. It's red.
Okay, we're off to a good start.
It's bubble wrapped. I buy so much stuff, so I don't even open a half of it. So I need.
You just see it and you know you can't live with it, knowing the fact that you don't have it.
While we do the draft, Rob, you should probably do some more unboxings for us.
I got 2 more. We can do them all if you want to.
Okay.
I don't care.
Colin, what do you think this is?
This now.
I'm thinking this is like a blanket or a shirt or a bat, like a.
Oh, it's some sort of pennant, I think.
It's an old,
Ah,
really, really, really long
that's pretty sweet.
wow.
pennant. Yeah, so that's kind of cool.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is cool.
All right, I like Colin's idea. I think while the draft is going on, I think you should open stuff while we draft.
All right.
All right. So basically, for those who are listening, we did the Ball State draft, back a few months ago. Where Colin and I we drafted a handful of different things. So we figured with Rob's expertise and his decades now of fandom, we wanted to get his input. We're going to be drafting the best Ball State games. So
Are we doing best or favorites?
what do you guys want to do?
Best
Or
wins.
favorite win. Favorite win is fine too. It doesn't have to be best. It can be favorite's fine. Yeah, favorite wins. And so how it's going to work is Rob is going to pick first, and then Colin and myself. So Rob's going to pick, and then whatever he takes, that's off the board. So there'll be 9 picks in total. It'll be snake draft. So it'll go Rob, Colin, me, and then me, Colin, and Rob, and then we'll do that till we get to 9 picks. So let me get something to write down here. We'll go 1 through 9. And then when Colin and I are drafting Rob, I want you to open stuff still.
All right.
All right, Rob, you're up first.
My first pick, I have to go with, because I am a I don't want to say suffer. Yeah, I'm a long-suffering Ball State fan. I have
Certainly
a lot of success over the years. So the MAC championship game for me was, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I cried. There was time, COVID, there wasn't a lot going on, and it was a way to sit down and, escape reality and go on that run and win a MAC championship. So for me, that's my number one.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head there because it obviously was amazing to see that they finally were able to win the MAC title, but it was also kind of like a little bit of a gut punch that no one, like, you couldn't be there to watch it. I remember I was watching it in my living room thinking, like, I would do anything to be at this game right now, and just you can't be there. But yeah, so everyone kind of had their own, watch parties at home, and yeah, that was an amazing night.
I was lucky enough that I was able to get a player shared his family tickets with me.
There you go.
So I was able to go out to one game that year, and so that was good.
Okay. All right. Great pick, by the way. Colin, what do you got?
Yeah, Rob, that was a great pick. I had it number 3 on my list. So he went with December 18th, 2020 at Ford Field in Detroit. Our first MAC championship since 1996. We win 38-28. I'm going to go just a few days later, Rob. December 31st, 2020, our Arizona Bowl win, the only bowl win in Ball State history. It was actually against number 22 San Jose State. We really thumped them 31-13. The defense was extremely dominant. I remember watching it on a projector. I had all my Ball State buddies over. This flag in the background was wrapped around my buddy's neck like a cape. We were yelling, we were jumping, we were screaming. That was the greatest Ball State win of my life.
Yeah, absolutely. Another just banger of a win. I mean, it was never even in doubt. We were just a better team.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
yes,
definitely.
From the jump, it was over. And I think we talked to Drew Plitt back in December, and I think that was kind of one of the questions we asked him. We're like, how awesome was that game? Just knowing that, like, it was never really a doubt, and you guys knew you were going to win. He was like, "Yeah, it was pretty sweet."
I mean, the previous game, the championship game. I mean, it was such a nerve-wracking, experience. So that bowl game, just going out there and taking care of them the way we did, it was special.
Mhm.
Because of that win, Rob, we ended the season ranked, and we got more money for the first college football 25 because we had one season in the last 10 years that we ended the season ranked.
Hey, there you go. I know you're a big NCAA football guy,
Definitely.
so there you go.
All right. So in the top three, you guys actually had 2 and 3 for me. And so I'm happy that Rob prefaced this beforehand by saying your favorite win, not necessarily the best, because there's probably some better ones I can pick here. But I'm going to take my favorite Ball State football game of all time. It was the first game my freshman year in 2011, the win at Lucas Oil Stadium against Indiana. Pete Limbo's first game going as was Kevin Wilson was at Indiana. So we have a similar situation to that Purdue game starting off this year. New coach for us, new coach for Purdue. Who knows how that's going to go? But go ahead.
Field goal at the end game, right?
That was the next year.
Okay.
That was the next year. This one we the next year game we were blowing them out and then we let them back in. This one it was kind of close and we kind of started to pull away a little bit at the end. But it was technically a Ball State home game. But obviously there was a lot more Indiana fans there.
Yeah.
They were all chirping. Well, not chirping. They were all talking trash before the game. And so we sent them packing, and I got to chant some losers down the streets in Indianapolis. This first game of my college career. As a fan, that's when you still got physical tickets. So we didn't necessarily camp out, but the first day they went on sale, we went and got the tickets. It was awesome.
I'd rather call you than IU, right?
That's right. All right, so I will go ahead.
Before round 2, we had an unboxing.
Oh yeah, let's see it. Let's see the unboxing. That's right.
All right, so we have I'm a Ball State fan.
Oh, there we go.
So I got 2 of these, John. So or Colin addresses. I'll send you guys.
All right, perfect.
Right on.
I love that.
I'm still waiting for John to send me the
I have some turf. One of the pieces of turf you sent me.
Want some turf? I'll get you your own.
Okay, right on.
Yeah, it's a pain.
Yeah.
Well, it's much harder to deal with than
you'd think. So everyone listening, Rob, when they recently switched out the turf at Schumann Stadium, and I think a handful of people online were like trying to figure out how to way to get some. And I had reached out to Ball State, and they said basically once this company takes it out, it's theirs. We have nothing to do with it anymore. So they actually gave me their phone number, and I called them, and they're like, "Well, you can just come and take it if you want." And so I obviously live in Florida, so I couldn't get up there because they're like, "Well, tomorrow it's getting thrown away." And so I reached out to Rob, and I was like, "Hey, I don't know if you want to get any of this turf, but here's what they told me. If you call this guy, I think you can just go take as much as you want." And he was like, "All right, well, I'll go do that right now," basically. And
yeah, so I looked. I worked from home a lot, but I was actually at work that day, so I'm like, I got to go. I got more important things to do than be working. So I roll up out there, and they go, "You got to go talk to this guy." So I found him. He goes, "You can have as much as you want." He goes, "But you be warned, it's hard to get through." So I'm out there with this little box cutter about this big, and I'm trying to cut this turf, and it sucks, and it's heavy and wet, and it was a nightmare. But we got some.
We got it. There we go. And funny enough, Rob, it took him, I don't know, a little bit to ship it to me. And I reached out to him. I was just been like, "Hey, just seeing if you're still shipping it." And he was like, "Yes, it's wet, so I got to let it dry, and it smells like crap." And I was like, I never had put 2 and 2 together that would smell so bad, and it makes perfect sense. So that's exactly
it stinks, doesn't it?
It stinks.
It's terrible.
So it makes perfect sense. But okay. I'm gonna jump in here with my next pick. So I talked about the Indiana game, and obviously there's a couple other ones of those that could be taken. but I'm going to go with another one of a game that happened when I was there, and that is in 2013 when we beat Virginia. It's the only game we've ever won against an ACC opponent. We've only beaten, now with how people have, reclassified in their conferences, we only have 2 wins over, Power 5 schools within Indiana and Virginia now. So
I call that the Jordan Williams game.
I was about to say Jordan Williams had a great game. Juwan had a good game. And funny enough, I worked at TIS at the time.
Okay.
And so when you worked at TIS, you had to work 1 weekend a month, basically. And so when I was working there, that was the weekend that I was working. Rob's going to open another one here while I tell us. And so I was working at TIS, and they didn't have the game on the radio. And, there's not many people coming in on that Saturday. It wasn't super busy. So we're just basically standing there. And I had to argue with our bosses a bit. Can you please put the Ball State game on the radio while we're basically on Ball State's campus in a Ball State bookstore? So yeah, we almost missed listening to one of the biggest wins, I would say, in program history, because TIS didn't just want to put it on the radio.
Hey, I have a story similar. Ball State, Nebraska, right?
Yeah,
You remember that game? Maybe not.
I do. Yeah.
So all we had was the radio. I mean, there was no other coverage. There was no ESPN News or web, whatever, watch ESPN. And on the radio, we had went up. And so we're like, we got to find someplace showing this game. And we went to 2 or 3 places and nothing. Nobody would be, you had to have satellite and the right satellite, to watch this game. So finally I called Damon's, and I was like, hey, can you guys get this game on? And they're like, oh, is Ball State playing today? I'm like, we're about to beat Nebraska. Now we did.
Right.
We did manage to get out there for the 4th quarter, and they did turn it on for us. So even though Damon's is gone,
Shout out Damon's.
Shout out Damon's.
All right, Colin, what you got for me?
Yeah, John, that was a good pick. I had the October 5th, 2013 Ball State, Virginia. Ball State away at Virginia, 48-27 on the road. Solid win. I'm going to actually go a little earlier, November 25th, 2008, number 15 Ball State versus Western Michigan.
Great pick.
Ball State wins 45-22 in front of 23,861 fans, also being shown on ESPN2, to end up going undefeated in the regular season with Nate Davis at the helm. After this game, would end up ranked at number 12, our highest ranking all time.
Great game, great pick. I was there. Atmosphere was electric. I mean, and that goes to show, if you have a competitive, solid team in Muncie, people will show. I mean, I can still hear Poison playing at the end of the game in my mind. It was such a great game.
Great pick.
Thank you.
All right. Rob, did you open anything else?
It's not completely open. It's good.
Okay. All right. You got 2 picks in a row here. So you give me those picks, and then you get opening.
Get twice, huh? Okay. I'm going off the board here, but I have a reason. Ball State Navy 2008.
Good choice. I had that as on this list as well.
I think that game. Whitlock had picked us to go undefeated that year, and everybody kind of shrugged him off. But I think that was the game that let people know maybe we would. And it kind of introduced Dante Love to the world. After that game, where you started hearing whispers of Dante for Heisman, and we all know how that ended, unfortunately. But it was kind of led us to that first dip into national coverage.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that was probably the last flyover Muncie ever had.
Oh, okay. That's a
So,
good tidbit there.
and now I'm backing her up.
Yep, you're back on it here.
Let's go same year. I know I'm leaving something out, but same year IU.
Okay, yep.
2008.
Yeah.
Dang.
Just because it was the big brother, little brother thing, and the circumstances, losing Dante, all that went into that, and to be able to bounce back and somehow still win that game. It says a lot about the team and the players on that team, their resilience, and Nate, and all of that. So I'll back those two up back to back.
Okay. Yeah, first
Rob,
first
that
go ahead.
was literally my next pick. That was our first Power 5 or Power 4 win of all time.
Yeah. I mean it was at that point then you knew, and IU, they weren't great that year, but it was still for us to win that game was huge.
Mm-hmm.
It was just no one thought we would. We did. We were a better team. No more.
Mm-hmm. All right, Colin, what you got?
Okay, so this might be the oldest pick yet.
Okay.
October 9th, 1993. Now,
All
I wasn't
right.
even born. Toledo. So I'm just going best win, not my favorite win, but this was pretty cool. Toledo versus Ball State. Ball State is down 30-3 with 4 minutes and 10 seconds left in the third quarter. Ball State scores 28 unanswered points to win 31-30. The quarterback was Mike New, and this was a MAC championship year, so huge win.
You went back for that one.
Good pick. Yeah, I think that game might have ended on a kickoff return for a touchdown. I'm not sure if that was the same one or not.
Huh.
The years all kind of blend together.
Yeah. All right, I have one more pick, and then if anyone's on here that you had written down didn't get said, we'll do an honorable mention after my last pick. So I got like 3 left that weren't picked. I don't want to be too much of a prisoner of my moment, but I think I'm just gonna round it out and go all games from when I was in school. I'm gonna go to the 2012 game against South Florida. That game in Muncie.
I'm gonna pick that. That's a great one.
Great game. Willie Snead, unbelievable catch, put him up late in the game. Eric Patterson, interception to end it off. That at the time was the second program we had ever beaten. That was Power 5. They're in the Big East at the time. And they had just come a long way from the year before. They went down and played at South Florida in 2011 and just absolutely smoked, and then come back and just win that game. It was awesome. I was in the stands. I was over on the student section side. When Willie Snead caught that touchdown, I went down like 10 rows jumping up. And then when Eric Patterson picked him off at the end of the game, I almost basically stormed the field.
When Patterson picked that ball, rest in peace, Patterson.
Yep.
When he picked that ball off, the collective breath of everybody just were like, we got this,
Mm-hmm.
Just to win one like that at home, that was good. And my son just fired in an honorable mention from the sidelines.
Oh, I love it. Let's hear it.
He said, we can't mention, now we're talking wins,
mm-hmm.
but he wanted to mention us almost taking out Michigan.
Before you got on, if funny enough, I said exactly what I said to Colin was, I said I almost put on some games that we didn't win, like Michigan and Nebraska. Those two exact ones I said. But I want to make sure it was just wins. But yeah, I verbatim. So that is an excellent point. by Sidelines Junior there. So,
Sideline Max. Max, give him a big shout out. What's your favorite Ball State moment of all time?
Favorite Ball State moment of all time for football?
Can you hear him?
yeah, I can hear him.
Or basketball, whatever.
Yeah, just whatever.
Basketball, Taylor Person's buzzer beater to beat.
Give
Great
it
one.
play-by-play. You got it.
Tie game with Notre Dame at their place. They're like what, 8th, 9th in the country.
Mm-hmm.
We walk in there and Taylor Persons hits like a 5-second shot. That was the greatest moment of my life. That was awesome.
Give him the radio call.
No,
Do the radio call.
Wait.
no.
Everybody wants it. Do the radio
I
call.
don't know.
Eric,
Yeah, you do.
I'll put the ticket up here for him.
Persons calls off the dogs, gets a screen from Moses. On the shot, he shoots, he scores. Bang! I'm gone. I'm out.
All right.
I love it. Great.
So there's some Sidelines Junior.
Perfect. All right, let's see this last one. Oh,
Last
what do we got here?
Got a ball. We got a Mike Lewis
Oh, very nice.
signed basketball. So
That's pretty sweet.
we'll get that. We'll get that mix on top of the other balls.
What happened to Western Michigan?
Right there.
I love it. All right. So that's great picks by everybody. We'll put up a graphic. I'll make a graphic, a blind graphic of everyone's picks, and then we'll put it out on social media and we'll let people vote for it, and we'll see who people are picking as their favorite drafter here. Any honorable mentions that didn't get brought up?
Western Michigan. It's not a win. Or actually, it was a win. The Western Michigan game.
Colin picked Western Michigan.
Go
Give
to
us
the
an
MAC championship.
yeah.
Oh,
Our TV shut off. Remember?
no. Oh, yeah. We're talking about two different Western. He's talking
okay,
about
okay.
the 2021. That is a great pick as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that game was insane.
So when we had Drew Plitt on, we were asking him about that specifically, and he had a funny story where his cousin or someone was getting married right as that game was going on, and everyone's TV, the feed cut out for everybody. I was actually at the North Carolina Miami Hurricanes game, and I was watching it in the stands, and the feed cut out. And he said, "Yeah, my cousin was waiting to walk down the aisle till the game ended, and the feed cut out." And so they just had to go without knowing what happened.
Yeah. That was another one. I told you my kid. I mean,
Yeah, I got ball now.
he probably knows about as much about Ball State as anyone. So
Great pick.
fun to go to games.
Oh yeah, Colin, do you have anything else?
Yeah, my honorable mentions, one that's even older than the Mike New pick, Ball State versus Butler, October 21st, 1967. One of the first games in Schumann Stadium, and our largest margin of victory ever. A win, 65-7.
All right.
Wow. Hey, I learned something. I did
There
not.
we go. That it? You got any other?
No, I got another one. I got another
All
one.
right, let's hear it. Okay, let's
All
hear
right.
it.
So, October 26th, 2024, Ball State versus NIU.
Oh yeah.
25-23 after NIU took down Notre Dame. NIU comes to Schumann Stadium thinking they're too good for the MAC already. And boom, we beat them the same year.
Good pick. I had some NIU stuff on my honorable mention as well.
Let's
My
do.
least favorite MAC team.
Yes.
Which is your least favorite MAC team?
Northern Illinois.
NIU.
Oh God. We'll talk about Northern. We'll talk about a play Jonathan Newsom had one time when we talk Northern Illinois someday.
Oh yeah.
It was a heartbreaking thing.
Mhm.
But what's the all right, let's see if we can rattle one of these off. Worst home loss.
Worst home loss.
Maybe that Miami, Ohio game where it was the winner went to the Bahamas Bowl.
Yeah,
I
that's
collapsed to the ground.
Yeah.
a terrible one, but I think John was a student for what I think is our worst home loss.
Our worst home loss. Let me think. Well, we had a really bad road loss my junior year at Northern Illinois. So we probably my sophomore year.
We
Uh,
lost, I believe you were there when we lost to the FCS school at home.
Oh yes, we lost to Indiana
year?
State.
I don't remember, but the like the only golden thing to come of it was Keith Winning came into the game, and that's when you knew that Keith Winning was going to be special.
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember that one. I remember when we played Indiana State my senior year and we lost.
Yes.
And I was a student manager then. I was just pull out. I had all these pulled out earlier. I don't know why I still have this, but I thought that's what you're talking about.
No, we lost to another FCS school, and I believe that Winning came in at the very end.
That might have been my senior year in high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ben, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
So we lost an FCS school the year before Willie Snead and the year after Willie Snead. That's crazy.
That is a good point. Willie kind of brought us from the ashes. Willie and Keith.
He's the FCS buffer for us that we need.
There you go.
I've got one more honorable mention.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, my last honorable mention for Ball State best wins. August 30th, 2025, Ball State versus Purdue at noon, week 1.
Whoa.
Okay.
Calling the upset.
The shot caller.
Rob,
right.
are you going to be there? Are you going to be there?
Max and I are going 50-yard line.
Beautiful.
Good. We'll see you there.
We're
coming down.
We will all get together and have some drinks.
There we go.
For sure.
All right.
All right, guys.
This has been perfect. All right. Well, everyone, before Rob goes, be sure to follow Rob on Twitter. Are you on anything else or just Twitter?
Just Twitter. I'm too old for the other stuff.
Yeah. So for some reason you haven't followed him already, what are you doing? Make sure you follow Rob at Sidelines Ball State. You'll find him pretty easily. On Ball State Union on the YouTube page, be sure you're subscribed if you're not already. Be sure you like and comment. There you go. Look, Rob's got the sticker right there. Be sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to comment on all the videos. Tell us what you thought your favorite thing that you saw in Chirpville was. Let us know. But yeah, we'll be back here soon. We have some other big interviews lined up. You know, like Rob was saying earlier, we had Chris Radican. We've had Drew Plitt. We've had Coach U. We've had Willie Snead, Kyle Kelly. We got Sidelines Ball State. We got some other people coming up. So until then, everyone, be sure to keep on keeping on. Chirp, chirp, and we'll see you guys again soon.
Take care, guys.
All righty.